What's up, guys? I wanted to give another update on the current meta that is forming in Marvel Rivals. It's been about 3 full days that we've been able to play the full game since it launched, and things are changing kind of quickly, actually. A lot of preconceptions I might have had are kind of reverting back to how they were in the alpha. What I mean by that is basically a lot of the dive characters aren't getting used as much as I thought they would, and people are kind of gravitating back towards the shooting characters, if you will, like Hela, Punisher, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, stuff like that. But quickly to summarize, so I've played about 15 and a half hours, 112 matches. I've won about half my matches, so that's pretty good, like matchmaking wise. That's what you want to see if you're a developer, I guess, right? One thing I've noticed is that in general, the match times are getting longer now, which is good. That's what I was talking about in my first video, how some games are just completely getting stomped and teams are getting blown out. The match times back then, the average was probably about 7.5 minutes if you did the math. Now you can clearly see that in general, it's probably up to like in the 8.5, 9 minute mark at least. You have the odd one. Here's a 5-minute match. My last game of yesterday was like a blowout, a very quick match. But overall, the matches are getting longer, which is good. People are learning the maps. People are learning how to deal with certain things, just how to play better. That's what you want to see. I want more matches that are closer and that last longer. As for the actual hero breakdown about what we're seeing, first of all, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more Hela, Punisher, Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Hawkeye, characters, Psylocke as well, actually. I love Psylocke. Psylocke is super fun to play and I think super powerful as well. But so you're seeing a lot of the I can shoot you from range and do solid, consistent damage characters. You're starting to see those. What I'm not seeing is characters like Storm. Not seeing almost any Storm. I haven't seen much Iron Man because they just get shot out of the sky quite often. Wolverine, actually, surprisingly, not seeing many Wolverine players at all. When I do see people playing diving characters, I've seen more like Iron Fist and Black Panthers than I've seen, and Magic, than I've seen of Wolverine. I think he's super fun to play, but he can be frustrating after your passive ability is triggered once. It feels like the second time you dive in or the third time you dive in, you're just getting killed very, very quickly, right? You're not getting much value out of his, what do we call it? Regenerative healing factor. So it's great while it's up. When it's on the 90-second cooldown, not so good. So you're seeing not many of Wolverine players out there yet. Now I will say that Psylocke, Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, they seem very, very powerful. Hela is probably the most powerful individual character in the game, in my opinion, right now. She can just 2-tap you. She does solid, consistent damage if she can land her shots. She has a mobility skill to get out of danger. She has a stun that she can use on you. She has a burst damage skill that she can use on a tank, plus her auto attack. She has an ultimate that gets her out of danger and does massive AoE zoning damage. I think Hela is probably just the best overall character in the game right now. Yeah, quite simply put. But it's nice to see that some other duelist characters like Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight are also getting played. I think they're really good on certain maps, especially like certain choke points, those tighter maps where you can just throw an onk on a wall and get a couple shots off and just like devastate an enemy team quickly. Moon Knight, I love his design and he's really cool. Squirrel Girl seems simplistic to play, and I guess she is in essence, but we are starting to see a couple people use her. Her root's really strong. She does, quite a bit of burst damage as well. But I think still the shooters are going to be playing like, Hela, Hawkeye, Black Widow, stuff like that. So I'm a little afraid that there's almost too much damage in the meta right now. I was watching some high-end players in 6-man pre-mades play ranked, and they were jumping in on tanks. For example, Hulk, Venom, And basically, when the enemy team is using 3 duelists and they're all shooters, the tanks die in probably about 1.5, 2 seconds. They're dead from full health. Doesn't matter if they're getting healed or anything, they are dead. They're basically a damage soak where the enemy team's damage is doing damage to them for a couple seconds, which opens the door basically where you hope your damage dealers can somehow kill somebody. But it's literally a window of just a couple seconds. Because of that, I think Magneto is actually the most played tank at the high-end meta right now. His shield can block an infinite amount of bullets, right, for that few seconds. So he can protect himself longer. His ultimate absorbs, the projectiles as well. He can shield someone else. Like, he just probably offers the most value when it comes to fighting that kind of meta. Someone like Thor is it's suicide, basically. Currently. Watching these high-end, and I'm talking about watching the teams that are currently number one in the world or in North America in the ranked meta. The guys who have, as soon as rank came out, they went in there with their 6-man and they've been grinding it out ever since. That is what they're seeing. And the tank players are not too happy. It's not much fun being a tank player right now, it seems. So that's kind of where that's going. You do see the odd Namor, or Scarlet Witch or something. I see them in my games, but I don't see them much in the ranked high-end games that I was watching. Scarlet Witch, like, her damage is not, it's more consistent, right, with her channeled ability. Her stun is whatever, it's nice, but it doesn't work. Her ult isn't really gonna fool any high-end player anymore. So Scarlet, I think, is kind of really falling off the bandwagon there, but people are mostly playing the consistent damage dealers that you can rely on. They derive consistent value no matter what the situation is. Punisher is always going to shoot you and do damage consistently without fail, right? So people are gravitating towards that. However, I do think that a coordinated dive composition could really deal with this, but you really need that coordination. Like, if instead of using all the shooters, your team comp was like Psylocke with Spider-Man and Black Panther and Venom or something, 4 people that get in your face immediately. You might even use a 5th and only have one support or one specialist on the team. I could see something like that working, right? Like, just some cancer comp, probably have who knows, right? I mean, it probably have Magic and Psylocke for their insane synergy. Spider-Man and then like Venom and Hulk with, I don't know, someone throwing heals at them. But that, I'm sure, could work. But again, coordination is key. And when you're solo queuing, which most of my perspective is from a solo queue perspective, is kind of how I view it, not too likely for that to happen. When it does happen, sometimes I've been playing a lot of Cloak and Dagger. I love them. I think they're great and they have a lot of different tools. But sometimes when I'm playing them, if I go up against even a single Iron Fist with someone else helping him, I'm basically screwed, right? It's very, very hard to get away from. And that's just 2 guys sort of coordinating. If it was 4 guys diving on me, I'm dead. As soon as my shroud disappears, I'm dead, right? Nothing you can do about it. Someone like Adam Warlock is dead instantaneously. He has no tool to deal with it. Loki, Jeff has some. Luna can freeze one of them. Mantis can sleep one of them. But, like, anyway, some characters are just dead, right? So we'll see if anyone starts to develop a dive comp. You probably won't see it in your solo queue much. You'll see the odd guy playing it here and there. But, yeah, unless it's coordinated, it's not nearly as effective. But, long story short, the flying characters, Iron Man, Storm, seem to be very hard to play currently. Even Iron Fist can, like, counter the shit out of a flyer, right? I don't know if you've seen some of the videos, but you can't escape this guy once he's on you, pretty much. A half-decent Hela on the other team can make life for Iron Man or Storm absolutely miserable. Even on Cloak and Dagger, I can throw a couple shots at a flying Iron Man or Storm, and you know, they get scared as soon as they get hit a couple times, and I can't miss them because my attacks lock on, right? So they are definitely on the downside. Overall, I think we need to see a reduction in damage on some of these characters. That there's just too much damage output. Whether you're getting healed or not, doesn't matter. The damage they do is quadruple what can be healed on them. When you do get a nice tug and war fight, it's like super fun. Like, I love the long drawn out 6v6 fights where nobody is just dying right away. And it's like you're spamming the heals and you're getting hit a little bit and you're fighting off this guy and the other dude takes over the healing. Like, those are where this game really shines. And we don't see it as much as I would like, but who knows where we're going to go. Overall, though, I think players are getting better at the game, obviously, as they learn it. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm going to do my rank games today. I'm going to start that anyway. Haven't touched rank. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go completely solo queue, see how far I can get. I'm going to be playing a strategist most of the time, I think, because a lot of people don't want to play it, so I'll gladly play it. And we'll see what we can do. But that's kind of where I see the meta at for today. Day 3 is done. We're moving on to day 4. And yeah, I'll be streaming on twitch.tv Silvis66. I'll link it in my description. And if you guys have any opinions on the meta, what you're seeing, what you think, let me know in the comments, because we've had some good discussions there so far. And we'll see where it goes from here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.